All right, well, the 6 children of a dentist accused of poisoning their mother in a 2023 lawsuit. They have filed a new lawsuit against him, his former practice, and the company that sold him cyanide. James Craig is currently serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole. He was convicted last year of first-degree murder. So here to talk more about the lawsuit is our 9 News legal expert, Whitney Traylor. Good morning.
Good morning.
A lot to unpack here,
yes.
Whitney. Okay, so what exactly are the children alleging in this lawsuit, and who are they all going after?
Yeah, there is a lot to unpack. This is a really bizarre situation, but the children are actually suing the father for a wrongful death claim, saying that it was an improper, he obviously murdered the wife, poisoned her, and so they're saying because of that loss, now he's going to be civilly liable. So this is a civil lawsuit. They also sued the dental practice and the company that sent the cyanide, because as we know, the cyanide was sent to the dental group, and then he used that to poison her protein shakes.
And when it comes to the civil suit, right,
Yeah.
because the criminal case is separate, this
Yeah.
is civil, why are they going after the, the company with the cyanide and the negligence and the practice, and not just him personally?
Right, so that happens a lot of times in lawsuits, and sometimes, I say people will sue first and ask questions later. So sometimes it's for the deep pocket, but here they're alleging with the dental group, it's all a wrongful death claim, but they're saying with the dental group that they were negligently supervising him. So because he ordered some of the stuff on their computers, he was doing research on how much cyanide you need to kill someone. He was doing those kind of research at the company. And they're saying with respect to Midland Scientific that actually sent the cyanide, they're saying, look, you're handling ultra hazardous substances. This creates a heightened level of security, so you should have ensured that it was being used for a lawful purpose. I mean, he said it was for some dental procedure. They're saying that's not even a use for that. So they're saying that the company should have done more. So vicarious liability for the dental group, and then really negligence on behalf of the company that sent the cyanide.
No, that's interesting, and that makes sense. What about the differences for the criminal case? Yes. Like the burden of proof, and then now the civil case. How are those differences playing out?
Yeah, and those are very different. I used to tell my students all the time the basic difference between civil and criminal. So obviously criminal, there's going to be a higher burden of proof. So the prosecutor had to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. Here, the kids will only have to prove it by a preponderance of the evidence. So that just means slightly more than not. So it's a much lower standard. And then obviously on the criminal case, he was put to life in prison without the possibility of parole. So that is another difference. Here on the civil side, you're only basically going to be able to get money damages at this point. So there's a lot of differences. Obviously, the prosecutor's going after him. Here, it's only going to be these private individuals suing for money.
And speaking of the money, what do you think the children are going after? What do you think they're hoping to receive in these damages for the wrongful death suit?
Right, so they didn't put a monetary number in the complaint. I read the complaint this morning. So they're essentially saying, look, it's for the loss of life, loss of friendship, loss of parenting.
Heartbreaking, really, to hear that.
Yes. Loss of finances. So this is a case where they requested a jury, so you go before the jury and you say, how much is this worth? There were the 4 kids are adults and 2 are minors. So the other question was she making money? Was she working? Because then they're going to have to get a bunch of financial experts to come in and say, project out, here's how much money she would have made over her lifetime. And then they'll go after that. So we don't know what the money damages are. And another interesting piece is it might be the insurance that actually covers it. So a lot of times when people, like in a car accident, somebody, let's say you hit me and I sue you. I think I'm actually suing you, but it's the insurance company that's actually defending and making all those decisions. But the jury doesn't know that. So here there may be insurance in play that will be a factor.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Whitney, thank you for breaking that down, and I'm sure we'll continue to follow that case.
Okay.
We'll be right back.